I know I just got the Miata, but I also just got this too. This is my new 2004 Dodge Viper SRT-10 Mamba Edition. One thing led to another, and this is sitting in my garage next to the Miata right now. So we have both. So much for consolidating, so much for minimizing in 2026. Let's start it up, walk you guys around it, and take this thing for a drive. This is the craziest car I've ever owned. Oh boy. Okay, so 2004 Mamba SRT-10, 500 horsepower, 525 pound-feet of torque from an 8.3 liter V10. We have a 6-speed Tremec T-56 manual transmission. It's number 173 of 200 Mamba editions. The Mamba editions came with a red interior, some red badges. They were limited. I like the red interior. It adds a bit of spice to a very spicy car instead of everything just being drab and black. Side pipes, Corsa Exhaust, high flow cats. This thing sounds insane. Modifications, we have a set of BC Coilovers, which ride a little bit softer than stock, but still don't have quite the body control that this car needs with the power. It's on a set of Continental Extreme Contact Sport tires. They are from 2020, so about 6 years old at this point, getting pretty close to aging out. We'll see how much we can wear them down this summer before replacing them probably next year. 2 95s in the front and 3 55s in the rear. So we're kind of running 5th gen tire sizing here. 355 30 R19s, absolutely insane. Stock drivetrain, no modifications to the engine. We do have this 3M taped on TA style rear spoiler the previous owner put on. And I'm a little bit torn on it. From some angles, I think it looks pretty good. From other angles, I think it kind of splits up the body lines. I might take it off, we'll see. The big selling point with this car was that it had some miles and it was super clean and well cared for by the previous owner. I've been Viper shopping for probably 6 months. This is the cleanest Viper with miles and at a price point that I wanted to pay that I found in that time. It's been really, really hard to find a good Viper. I have seen super low mile examples, 5,000 to 10,000 miles with a ton of leaks and issues and maintenance things that need to be updated. This car has 46,000 miles on it and it drives awesome. Let's pop the hood, take a look at this 8.3 liter V10. It feels weird to say, but one of my favorite things about this Viper is that it just sounds like my old Volvo, which was a 5-cylinder. And you've basically just got 2 5-cylinders in here. 5 cylinders going out that side and 5 cylinders going out that side. Oh, it's such a beast, such a beast. Interior on this is actually pretty clean. We've got a slightly collapsed seat bolster here. I think I can just reach back, unzip it, and throw a little bit more stuffing in here. We'll see, I'll talk to my seat guy about that. But everything else in this is in pretty good shape. A couple cracks in the speaker grills, a little bit of a wonky molding here, but for a crappy plastic Dodge interior from the mid-2000s, everything looks really good. That's the big thing with these Vipers, that the interiors were all pretty terrible. I like that this Mamba has some red in it. It gives it some extra flair, but this is one of the nicer interiors that I've seen with miles. We've got a little bit of storage down there. Got my earplugs, garage door opener, Alpine stereo, aftermarket head unit. I do have the stock unit in the garage. I might install that at some point. We have adjustable pedals. There's a little switch right down here, and you can change the angle of them, which is really, really cool. You'll notice this Viper actually has a pedal spacer on the brake. That keeps you from pressing both the brake and the accelerator at the same time. Without that, that can be a bit of an issue. You also need to wear special shoes to drive this car. You need to wear a narrower shoe. I can't wear every shoe in my closet. I just picked up these Shifted X canvas shoes. They're great. They've got a rounded heel, super grippy soles. These are my driving shoes for the Viper. A little door creak there too. All right, off we go. For me, it is all about that sound. This car is actually surprisingly easy to drive. Clutch release point is super high at the top of the pedal, and the pedal travel here is so long. It feels like my foot moves about 12 inches. pleasant convertible driving experience. There's very minimal wind buffeting. The throttle response is absolutely insane. This V10 is so quick to rev. Again, it's cold out today. We'll get some temperature in the tires. I do want to do to this Viper is I would like to get a Wave Track 355 rear differential. Fifth gear in this car at 70 miles an hour is just below 2,000 RPM. Sixth gear is at about 1,500 RPM. It just feels like it's bogging and there's no power whatsoever. It actually nets pretty good fuel economy, somewhere in the 20s on the highway if you're just cruising for a road trip. So that's kind of cool. But with a 355, a slightly shorter final drive ratio, it actually makes sixth gear usable on the highway. Windows down, super comfortable top-down experience at 70, 80 miles an hour here. It's actually really refined. I took my wife out for a ride in this. I had no idea what she'd think of it, and she actually was surprised it was pretty comfortable. With the top down, great visibility. If you want a little bit of extra cooling in the groin area, you just flip this visor up and it channels air right down there. It's surprisingly smooth and easy to drive. From rev matching to throttle control. Doing this for a long time. I've driven just about everything, and almost nothing else has the sense of occasion and drama and excitement and rawness of the Viper. It's both unrefined but dynamically still quite excellent. It handles well. You think it's kind of going to be a total dog to drive, but it isn't. It's revvy and responsive and snappy. It has super high limits, but once you get past those limits, it's all over. Is a completely unique driving experience. Nothing else drives like a Viper except for a Shelby Cobra. And if you've ever seen any Viper video on the internet, of course that was kind of the genesis, the inspiration for the Viper. Yada yada yada. You guys know the story. I don't need to talk about it or repeat it here. They really did capture that insane raw driving experience, from the shifter to the steering to the side pipes to the way this car kind of handles and feels going down the road. They're very, very similar. It manages to be a fun and exciting and engaging cruiser, but also a crazy performance car. it down for the horses here. I just love the way it sounds. It is so intoxicating. Pops on the overrun. There is torque everywhere. It only revs to about 6,000 RPM. 60 miles an hour, first gear. Let's feel that. Wow. It's one of those cars that manages to just be fun and exciting all the time, no matter what you're doing with it. I think its sole purpose in life is to give people thrill rides. You can even put a car seat in the passenger seat. There's a key here to turn off the passenger airbag. You switch that over, and it's even got latch attachments down there. Just insane. Is it the safest vehicle to take your kid to in school? Definitely not. But I can't wait to take my son to a car show in this someday. Sold all my cars this year except for the Ranger Raptor. I sold the Type R, and then I sold the Camaro a couple days after that, and then about a month or so ago, before I bought this, I sold the S2000. It was time for a change, time to switch it up. The goal originally was to consolidate and just have one sports car, the Ranger Raptor, and call it good. I never quite found a Viper before I bought the Miata, and I wasn't really intending on getting one, but I just couldn't refuse this and I couldn't pass it up. So I still had some budget left over. I said, you know what, let's just go for it. And I kind of feel like this and the Miata I'll want to hold on to a little bit longer. Nothing is ever a forever car. I don't think anyone has a forever car. Life situations change, your values change, what you want changes, and it was definitely time to kind of switch things up. I wanted something really raw, a little bit older, and that's the other thing I like about this Viper is that it feels really old school. but it still has modern enough driving dynamics and capabilities. Looks so insane. I love this view from the driver's seat, the hood, the lines. The 3rd and 4th gen Vipers are kind of less appreciated overall for their aesthetics, for their looks. But standing next to this car, it still is so exciting. Yes, it's not as good looking as the 1st or 2nd gen or the 5th gen, but it still does it for me. No cruise control here. I've seen people retrofit it. That's okay. Alright guys, first video on the Viper. I'm gonna go drive this thing around some more. Probably go take my dad for a first ride in it. He hasn't seen it yet. Alright guys, that'll be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. More to come. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.